Good day, everyone, and my fellow countrymen. yeah. Okay. So this topic um, is a very, very important topic, and I'm glad that CIPDI you've set up this forum to discuss this. I sent a question to actually a couple of questions to your info mailbox, but I'm going to raise them now. And it's very funny that Sister Chikezie Adalgo sent that question to the whole house. And my question is actually linked to what she's asked. Now, back, we've said a lot. We've said a lot about enforcing laws and policies and all of that. But the truth is that when we are talking about Nigeria, we're talking about a complete broken society. I'm sorry, but it is the truth. It is a complete broken society. Someone was talking about educating the police. How do you educate the police?
Police, yes.
How do you? It's like we're driving this vehicle at a speed of about 100 miles per hour. Let's start with 20 miles per hour. Now, we need to be very pragmatic. And I thank God that this is what CIPDI is about when we're talking about Nigeria. Let's go back to the grassroots. Some of the issues that we have in the society have already been mentioned and listed. And I think we have to talk about the girl child, the young child. It's not just girl child, even boys as well, the boy child as well. Education is key to this issue of domestic violence and also rape. I've got a friend that the father is a violent man. He used to, in fact, the flat where they live looked like a prison cell, everywhere barricaded. And the guy used to beat up their mom and then beat the kids as well. So she's always known him as a violent man. And back then in the days, they used to think, oh, it's demonic possession, and they will sit and pray for the man. And not until lately, she said to me and admitted that the guy is mentally sick. She's Nigerian. She lives in Nigeria. And she had to confront the problem, which is the fact that her dad is mentally sick. And there are a lot of things that we don't recognize in our society and broad society. But I don't want to digress, but I want to encourage CIPDI, that NGOs out there in Nigeria that help victims of domestic violence and rape, they're incapacitated in a lot of ways. And I would encourage us to partner with them. Back then in school, when we were taught, we were never even taught sex education in its entirety. And everything, I mean, a lot of things that we grew up with were things that we picked along the line, on the road, from friends, from people, and misinformation. And this is very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous for a young girl growing up, a young man growing up. We need to educate our kids. I don't even think we have proper schools in Nigeria anymore, because everyone is sending their kids to private schools. And even the private schools, they're not structured. All their proprietors are doing is how to get money from people. Kids are no longer educated properly. So we need to take this back into the classrooms from primary school. From primary 3 level, these kids need to be taught on how they can protect themselves, how they can verbalize their concerns, how they can speak out. We need to empower our children. And the problem, the reason why this issue is compounding and getting very complex and complicated, and we're not having solutions to them is because of we're not addressing them from the very grassroots, from the very basics. And I would please, I would plead with us to partner with these NGOs out there in Nigeria that are doing the little that they can to bring this home and to help these kids out there that are vulnerable. Yeah, that's it. Then the second issue is we forget that this is the 21st century. It's not just the girl child that is being raped and attacked. Boys are also groomed. We're having cases of boys and male who are homosexuals in Nigeria because they were groomed, not because they chose to be, but because they were groomed at very tender age, and they just grew up like that way. So these are issues that needs to be addressed from the grassroots, please.
All right, thank you very much. The question that is on the floor to be answered is, what guidelines can the panelists give to us here so that how we can protect our girls from being raped, and this time also our boys? So any member of the panel can go ahead and answer that. Unmute yourself.
From being raped.
All right. I want to say something on this. My name is Ifoma. So for the girl child, every girl child, I remember when we were growing up, it was different from what is going on right now, where, you know, children are taught sex education and stuff like that. All I knew when I was growing up, my mom used to tell me that you shouldn't allow any boy come close to you. So, because when they come close to you, they get you pregnant. So that was what my mom taught us when we were growing up. So it formed a kind of attitude and behavior in me that I say hi to men at arm's length, very far away, and I say hi because I have this mentality that I'm gonna get pregnant if I get close to him. So what am I talking about? It's about creating a culture in our girls, telling them the do's and don'ts. Because if you don't tell them, someone out there is going to tell them, and you don't know what the person is going to tell them. Okay, so you're going to begin to tell them how vulnerable they are and how easily it is for a guy to lure you into something you don't expect with their sweet lies, because their minds are not matured enough to understand when somebody is lying to them, like painting pictures and trying to pull them into a situation. And you have to teach your child, your girl child, to avoid anything that will make you go behind a closed door with a man. You know, you don't have to do that, because sometimes they tell them, oh, I'll just to hang out or just to visit. And from hanging out and visiting, they drop some chemicals in your drink. And from then somebody, you know, you drink something and then you pass out and they do whatever they want to do, you know. So also for the boys, you have to begin to tell them how to be a man. And it has to start with you, the father, being a man too. The way you treat your wife and the way you relate to your girl children tells the boy a lot about being a man, how you are respectfully treating your wife, and you teach him how to keep to his drives. You're not an animal. So because you are a human, you have to be rational and guide whatever dwells in between your legs and make sure it doesn't lead you into trouble. So the whole thing begins at home. That's why it is from the family that the societies are built and made better. So we have to start with the training and with the teaching, and then know the type of friends they hang out with. Because sometimes this is not what they want to do, but because they're in the midst of certain friends, they do those things. So it all boils down to teaching and watching out, paying attention. Sometimes for my girl children, I take their phone and I say, I'm going to have your phone for 1 week. So I'm not going to give information when I'm taking your phone. I keep the phone for 1 week, and that will help me to know who talks to her, who she hangs out with, friends, the type of messages she gets, and the type that she sends. So who and who are present in her life. So do same for the boys, because we are the parents and we have to get it right. You know, we do our best, even though the society have their influences, but we have to do our best, because I believe in the saying that train a child the way he or she should go, and when they grow up, they would not depart from it. Yeah, so that would be my little suggestions. Thank you all.
All right. Obey, okay, I think you have your hand up.
Okay. I would suggest, honestly speaking, I will suggest that we resuscitate again that spirit of communal living that my grandmothers in their own days used. I think what I mean is resuscitate that spirit again, whereby everybody's child is anybody's child is everybody's child. That is going back to the grassroots, starting from the beginning, from the foundation. Your child does something and another woman corrects her, you don't get angry. And from there, you teach a child that you have to work hard to earn a living when you grow up. You have to be a man. You have to be a man. You don't have to touch another person, another person's body, because you have no right over that body. And our fathers too, the fathers, most of them now, because if you look at most of our leaders now, they are the politicians. Most of them in their own days, they were all they were in the court too, and their children too take from the father. They take from the fathers. You don't even correct a child, a male child, for even going astray. You don't even correct a male child for even, because as you do that, even when a male child rapes somebody else's daughter, because the lady or the girl comes from a disadvantaged family background, the father or the rich father or the politician father, we make sure that that case does not come up again. So what do? We start by teaching the girls, even stay away from them. Don't even make friends with any man, with any boy. Stay away. Do you understand? Even the boys too, stay away. Be a man. Respect yourself, respect the women, respect the girls. Please. What else? And then there's something I want to even add. If we can somehow, if our judicial system can somehow make it possible for the perpetrators of this thing, this rape thing and other, to be humiliated in a way, I will love it. What do I mean? If you're, or maybe you attempted rape, or you have not even done it at all, but you attempted it, we should go to Oka. There's a place, Oka, in Anambra State. They have blacksmiths there. You go, they mold pants for you, iron pants. Put it on you. Put a padlock there. Put it and lock it up. And then put a little hole from there where you can pee, so that you can keep that, you can quarantine that your tom-tom, that errant and undisciplined tom-tom. You quarantine it for a while. Maybe if you can wear that for it has to form part of the judgment of the court. If you can quarantine that errant tom-tom for at least 6 months, I think you will get used to staying on your own without that thing getting up and looking for where to poke or where to stick itself into. But I am begging all the family, all the parents, please, let's start from our girls. Let's start by teaching them, taking them to churches, to church, preaching to them. And then, most importantly again, is having time to stay with your children, your family. Most career women these days, because if you're waiting for the man to come and help, men, their own is to go and get that money, bring into the house and put food on the table. But the women, it is your job to take care of these children. If any child goes astray, it is your fault. I am a woman. If it is your fault that your child goes astray, why am I saying that? Create time to stay with your children. It is not every time you're looking for money. At the end of the day, when you make all the money in this life, at the end of the day, you cry because your children would have gone astray, and it should have been too late for you to bring them back then. Because there's something the psychologists call teachable character, an age of teachable character. That is when they're still growing up. You teach a child, this is not the way you should go. This is the way you should go. If you go that way, I will beat you, I'll smack you. Some people don't even touch their children because, it is not good to beat children. No, beat them. Don't even spare the rod so that they will not go astray. Beat that child. Tell the child. Don't even show the child that the family has money, that you are rich. Some people will go and buy big phones for children in primary, in secondary school. What for? What business are they doing with the phone? And then you are now showing up flanks. The child begins from a little age to start showing up flanks. That because my parents are rich, even if I don't make it in life to be rich, I have properties to inherit. I have monies from my parents to inherit. For what? Teach them, especially women. I see, I'm still saying it, even though I'm a lady. Any child that goes astray, the blame should be on the mother, because you are the one that is closer to them than the man, because the man is always on the road. The man is always striving to make sure the family is comfortable. That is my my own contribution for now.
Okay. Before we continue, I will